Hey all. So in my opinion, it is none other than Wednesday, February 15th of 2023 AD. The time is about 8 a.m. The place, Madison. The temperature, 37 degrees, getting down, down, down throughout the day. It'll be like 30 degrees by 9 p.m. But what's interesting is that tomorrow there's a big storm all day, probably, from the morning to the evening. So tomorrow is big snow day. So whatever you got to do today, you know, get your canned provisions, your MRAs, your rations and everything, you know, be prepared to be barricaded tomorrow, I guess, or to drive in the snow, or walk in the snow, or if you have like a snowmobile or those like dogs that you can ride, that's probably ideal, is having like 8 snow dogs to get around. What's ideal now is grabbing our card. Legit, okay. Page of Swords, Page of Swords. See a motherfucker, like a young guy who's like, I don't know, he's like 20 maybe, holding his sword upright. He's like poised for action, looking out into the unknown, and there's like wind, like implying things are happening. Swords is the realm of, it's the element of air. For some fucking reason, knives are associated with air in the magical world. But basically it's really about communication, thought, ideas, abstraction is what Swords is about. And Pages is the lowest of the court cards, so he's the initial step of mastery. So it's, you're really inspired to do a lot of shit today, start projects and shit, make new shit happen, and you might follow through on it all, or you might not. Having to do with communication, it might mean you're trying new ways of expressing yourself. Yeah, I've started talking more shit to people and seeing what happens. Usually nothing happens, because I'm so like peaceful my whole life that what I call talking shit is what most people call just being normal. So, you know, keep that in mind. What else? Page of Swordy, Swords, Swords, Swords. I always associate swords with like Excel spreadsheets and like words and numbers and like paying your taxes or something. Pay your taxes, yeah, maybe that, it's about the time of the year for that if you got all your W-2s. So that's what was going on here, because he's the page, so he's like works in the King's Court, so he's like a junior tax auditor is what he is, and the king is like the pro tax auditor. I mean, that's what kings do, right? They collect taxes, right? You know, so it is about taxation, which some of you consider theft. I consider it a prank when I tell someone their shoe's untied and then they look down and then I like bop them in the nose like that. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Here I am, almost drinking the sip before I say it's time to grab a cup or a mug, a tankard, a chalice, a glass of stein, a canteen flask, a bottle, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, your dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. The simultaneous sip. Go. Oh. And all the troubles just melt away. Dual simultaneous sipping. Yeah, I don't know what's going on other than the weather. The only news-related thing I keep up with is the weather. I don't know anything else in the news. So if something interesting happened, tell me if I need to know it. But I probably don't need to know it. The only thing I might need to know is if, like, I don't know, someone is like sitting outside my house or something. So if you're sitting outside my house, remember, you're as happy as you think you are. Bye.